And getting off work. What a productive day. Wednesday, halfway through this week. And wow, it's getting busy over here in this plant. You know, with the start of production happening not too long ago, we're producing lots of batteries and running this place 24 hours a day. Shipping batteries all across the world. Electrifying the world. You know, while I'm talking about work and myself being employed as an interpreter with this company, I want to give you my perspective on learning a different language if you have the chance to early on in life. I think that ever since I was young, I was very in tune with trying to learn Korean, and my parents were very active in sending me to a secondary school outside of elementary school to have my brother and I learn Korean. Not only secondary school, but my parents, especially my father, raised my brother and I up in a household where we would both have to speak Korean in the household. Outside of the house, it didn't matter if we spoke English, but inside the house, he was very strict of having us speak Korean, and I'm very thankful for him raising us up that way. If you have children, I think that this is a good way to raise your children. You know, I have cousins that are like myself, born here in the States, but they don't have the ability to speak Korean as fluent as I do. And it's just a little bit saddening to see because it seems like they don't have that connection because there's a language barrier if they're trying to communicate with other Korean speaking natives or even their parents, you know, my uncles and aunts. Like at a family gathering, you see that they're there, but it just seems like they're not there, not as connected in family conversations and communications. If you have the chance to go to a secondary school, and in today's age, we have it so much better with technology. We have apps on our phones which will teach Korean to us. I use Duolingo. Even today, I still use this app every single day to learn new words and learn new ways to structure sentences. Because learning a language, it just doesn't end with a beginning and a middle and an end. You have to keep working on the language to become really fluent and proficient at speaking, writing, and expressing yourself with this written, spoken language that you're trying to learn. I think English, I'm still working on English as a learning language. English is a very tough language. You could take a word like there and it could be expressed in 5 or more ways. There as in those people over there sharing something, their possessions. There as a physical location. Someone is over there. You could say they are. So there is they are, 2 words put together. There's so many ways of using one word in the English language that I'm still trying to master and know when to use in different situations. But I think an important way to communicate, a lot of communication when I'm at work, I notice is nonverbal too. Like you're expressing what's being said in the middle, but you've got to be able to use nonverbal communications to your body language and try to illustrate what you're saying, because you would be surprised how much communication is visual. We also hear things when we're communicating messages, and there's the sense of feel, touching, and you want to be inappropriate or appropriate with your touch, but try to keep it appropriate in the workplace so that you're not going to get written up for communicating the wrong thing at work, right? Language. I'm very thankful for being raised in a household of being able to speak Korean, and being raised in America, English came naturally for me being born and raised here. It's just the secondary schools that Saturdays for me were Korean school, and also picking up on language through watching TV shows in Korean, reading comic books, listening to Korean music. Korean dramas are a huge way, especially with subtitles on. And I remember sitting at nighttime after dinner, my father or my mother would come back home from the Asia food market, and this was when VHS tapes were still out. And so they'd come back and bring back a show or something and just put it on TV. And after dinner, we just watched TV together, and whatever was on TV is what we were watching. And that's how I learned a lot of Korean. I didn't understand every single word that was being said, but I had picked up a lot of what was being said, and I had a curiosity of trying to learn what words I didn't recognize and making a note of it, trying to learn new words, or if I didn't know, asking what those words meant. I think it's important to have that natural curiosity of trying to learn new things. Okay, every day is an opportunity to learn something new. You don't know everything. Come on, let's face it. We all are lifelong learners. No matter how much you know, there's always room for improvement, and there's always something to learn in any given situation. So I'm trying to improve my Korean, and I love this job that I have because I have the opportunity to interact with people every single day that are Korean. I've never seen this many Korean people in a work environment until I started working out here. And it brings me joy to interact, engage with people, and learn more of this beautiful language that I have grown into. And I just wanted to get that message out there. This job, it's connecting two different countries. There's South Korea and the technology that they're bringing with America, and it's a joint venture here, and we're working together to power the future of mobility. So great things are happening here, and I'm glad to be part of it, and thankful that I have the knowledge of being able to bridge two parties with fluid communication to get one team together and a vision across to make big things happen. I'll keep updating you as this whole journey goes, and thank you for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one.